So I'm the real estate dude. We're sitting with Clark Saunders. He is the what is your title? Matanuska Brewing Company
Director of Sales and Marketing.
expert, the head honcho.
No, not the head honcho by any means. I'm the guy that knows the beer, drinks the beer, and tells people how to buy the beer. I go all over the state of Alaska making this happen.
Perfect. So we're gonna sit with him today to talk about what you guys do at Matanuska Brewing Company, kind of a little bit about background about them, and about him. And we're going to talk a little bit about business and some of the marketing and stuff that he does.
All right.
Are you ready to jump into it?
Sure.
Okay, so we're going to start with 1 minute, your first comic book. Like a 1 minute synopsis of who you are, your background. Who's Clark Saunders? Why are you important? Why are we talking to you today?
As it pertains to this wonderful world-class brewing facility.
Okay.
All right. Well, I did all the title work in my former career with a title insurance agency, Matanuska Title, and for the brewery, for the associated restaurants, the lending process, all that. I was the closer. I was their title guy, and I did extensive product research on my personal time, meaning I love the beer. And
Drank lots of it.
and as things progressed towards opening a brewery, they said, well, maybe in a couple of years we're going to need somebody that has your skill set as far as promoting the product throughout the state, but we'll talk to you in a couple of years. Well, 3 months later they said, hey, we need you now.
A couple of years ran quick.
That's because it just took off, and the beer, our brewer, Kevin Burton, he's a genius, and he does not make a bad beer.
Mhm.
And
That's the Raiders fan, right?
that's the Raiders fan.
He's a good guy already.
Yep. But
is.
it makes my job a lot easier because
Uh-huh.
my specific duties are to get the beer out as many places as we can throughout the state of Alaska.
Okay.
And so they taste it, they go, there's not a bad beer in here, let's do it.
Mm.
So that part, really makes it easy. But they said, we're growing, we need to grow faster, and because when we opened up the doors here, we had the capacity to brew enough beer to be the third largest brewery in the state of Alaska.
Okay.
So unlike a lot of breweries, we just open up, get their beer going, and then need to expand
Mhm.
and build, etc. The foresight of the 11 investors was such that they said, let's do it. Let's make it big right away.
Start big, and
Start-
then you can.
Yep,
You're
and
gonna
fill the tanks. Yeah, so we have a 40 barrel from brewery, basically, with a one-off system that's newly installed too.
Okay.
That's a 5 barrel, so we
Okay.
can do smaller batches and everything with
Okay, so that's like special batch kind of stuff.
special batch, smaller batches, things that we're trying out, for
Okay.
instance, before
Okay.
they go big. And then we have 620 barrel fermentation tanks out there. There's a
Mhm.
ton of stainless steel back there.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
We might get some clips in there.
Yep.
So before we get too far, I want to you hit two things, and those are the two things I really want to talk about. One is what we'll talk about now, and that's kind of Matanuska Brewing Company and how they started. Maybe a little bit about the investors and how you said you guys started big, so that way you can grow into what you're doing now. And so I want to talk a little bit about that, and then after that, I want to talk about. This will go out to a whole bunch of the local Palmer entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs in Alaska. So kind of what you do to facilitate that growth, as far as what kind of marketing you do. You're business to business. Is it person to person? Is it mainly social media? Are you doing email marketing? You're on the phone, that kind of thing. So those are really the two things I'm going to touch.
Okay.
Okay. So which one? Let's talk about Matanuska Brewing Company first.
As far
So
as the investors, etc., there 11 Alaskans that were like-minded and wanted to go forward with something that they believed in.
Okay.
Kevin Burton, the brewer, he brewed for well over 20 years with Glacier Brew House and his established recipes, established expertise. And he had wanted to start a brewery for some time. And Matt Tomter, his good friend for some time, who had Airport Pizza in Nome, has been urging him to do this for years.
Okay.
Finally got together, gathered up all their friends and pilots and people that wanted to invest, and boom, they created Matanuska Brewing Company.
And that was less than a year ago.
Right about exactly a year ago.
Okay. And that's from not idea creation. That's from open the doors,
Right.
start pouring beer in the tasting room and pushing people out. Or is the tasting room newer?
Tasting room's a little newer than the production
Okay.
of the beer. That started in about mid-February, And then with some of the collaborative series that we do with Glacier Brew House, because they were Kevin's recipes, and we actually have a cooperative effort with that brewery. We brew 4 of their main producers, as far as beers go, here in the brewery, and put them in cans. If you see a can out there, we brewed it here.
Okay.
And they're great folks there, and they have a wonderful partnership.
Okay.
But so that happened around in February, and then we started doing the Matanuska beers. They popped out in June, May, June, and we're already all over the state. I travel around. My specific job is social media, telephone calls, tastings, attend brew festivals, get the product out there.
Okay.
You can't be a fan if you don't know what you're a fan of.
Right. So before we move into that, you're the sales guy, you're the marketing guy. If you had to say, like, right now you have someone in front of you and they're trying to decide between any of the multiple breweries there in the valley, much less Alaska, why should someone come to Matanuska Brewing Company over, like, what's the allure here? What's bringing people here? Is it the quality of the beer? Is it the environment? What's the biggest thing that you sell when you are going out and talking to the tasters over near a beer pouring fest or anything like that?
Well, it's a combination of things. One of them is there is not a bad beer created here.
Okay.
And I felt that before I worked for them. I go, wow, he's knocking these things out of the park.
You said you were an expert.
Exactly. And I had to do extensive product research before I was associated with the brewery. And so when I took the job, I started promoting the beer, first in the Anchorage, Eagle River Valley areas, and it just took off. People loved it, and they put it on tap, put it in stores. And our distributor, K&L Distributors, does a really good job of representing our product and getting it out there.
Okay.
And so that's the first thing, is it's just good beer.
Quality beer.
Yep. And the second thing is, we've got Alaskans that own this thing. We've got people that have their own money in it, and they believe in the spirit of Alaskans. You've always been a people who have no problem stepping out of the norm and getting things done, taking a chance here and there, and these guys did. They put a bunch of money into stainless steel back there, and now we're filling it up, and hiring, and we're just getting bigger and bigger in the right way. And we
There
have,
he is.
and this is the brewer right here.
Did you get a good shot of that new beer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can jump in here too. We
You
already
stick
talked
your head
about
in there.
you.
We just photobombed. This Kevin Burton, the brewer that we were just talking about.
Oh, my ears were burning. My
Yeah.
ears were burning.
Yeah.
Go ahead, photobomb here.
What are we doing?
Can you see
It's
yourself
right
in here?
here. So it's
You go.
online.
We already
right
told everyone you're a Raiders fan and everything. Oh,
It's
your
delayed.
face is gonna be right in there.
Oh.
Give it about 2 minutes.
That's my cameo.
See, that's one of the few breaks that Kevin takes
Yeah.
in the brewing process as we get
Here I go.
more and more popular.
Yeah.
There it is. Hey, there I am.
And every once in a while, he does take a break from slave driving the people back in the back. And
Good talking to you.
thanks, Kevin.
Okay.
I charge. But yeah, the Alaskan attitude, I think, is what drives this train. Just get out there, take a couple of chances, be responsible. But it's the product. I mean, I think we nailed it with our graphics. It's the Alaska Adventure Series, I like to call it.
Yep.
Where you have the Packraft red,
Yeah.
got the Backcountry blue, is Snowbike white, Sky Cab gold with the bush plane on there.
Yeah.
Long Track IPA for the snow
You
machiners.
definitely notice it, like when you're in the beer aisle or anything. As you're looking at the wall of beers, it's definitely one that sticks out.
Yep, it pops out there. We believe in Alaska, and we believe in the adventures that we have the privilege to enjoy here, and we believe in recreation and rehydration.
Hey, coin that term.
And also, you need to stay nourished, and there is no there's no beer value in food, but there is food value in beer. So if you need to pick on your caloric budget, the choice is beer.
Easy. That's sound logic. Sound. What do they
Absolutely.
say? Up the mountain, down the beer.
There you go. And we believe in packaging in cans because we're 100% recyclable.
Okay.
And canned products are not what they used to be. It's not your granddaddy's can. It doesn't taste like a can. It comes out just like you getting it from a bottle. And it's earthquake proof. It's
Okay.
shatter proof. We tested that.
Yeah, good to know here. Good
And
to know.
easy to carry on a boat. And we put on the cans, pack it in, pack it out, because we do believe in preserving this state.
Okay.
and
Mhm.
recycle your cans.
Mm-hmm.
So
Do you guys recycle them here? So if someone buys a 6 or a 12 pack here, can they bring the cans back this way? Or
they got to go the normal process for recycling. We got to focus on good
easy
beer.
peasy. Yeah, one step at a time.
There you go.
So 2 other questions. One, you got to give me the insight. What's the best? Like if I'm at the store looking at, you guys have 6 in the stores right now, something like that?
8.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm looking at the 8. Which one should I go with?
Well,
I've
it
never
depends on your
tried.
style.
What's your style? What's the one you go with?
I go for the IPAs. I like the Packraft Red IPA, the Long Track IPA. They're both beautifully balanced beers. When I'm hydrating,
Mhm.
the Snowbike White is an American wheat with coriander and orange zest in there, so it's really
Okay.
refreshing. And that's our biggest seller right now.
Okay.
And but it just depends on what you're looking for. We recently released Arctic Warrior American Ale, which is more of a flavor profile of some of the major brands you see that are actually pilsners and lagers, and
Okay.
and not to name any national brands, but they're at a lot of NASCAR events. we, we were going to call it a redneck beer, but that's not what you're supposed to say. You're supposed to say NASCAR Americans.
It's politically correct. That's what we're going for here.
Exactly. No, but it's a lighter profile beer that is taken off, and we give 5% to the Armed Services YMCA from the brewery
Okay.
here for everything that gets sold out of here on that Arctic Warrior.
Okay.
So we're not only just doing the red, white, and blue there, we're honoring our men and women in service, their families,
Mhm.
and giving back. So
Amazing. Okay, question number 2, and then we're going to move on to the business side of it. And that is, what do you guys have coming up? Is there any events, or is there anything that you guys are putting on as a Matanuska Brewing Company, or do people just go and try the beer by going to the restaurants or coming to the tasting room?
well, there is a whole slew
Okay, right. Summer's coming up.
posted.
I know.
Yep. So we have many events that we participate in. In fact, so many that we have to pick and choose.
So where can people find a list of the events where you guys will be at? Is it on your social media, or is it?
We do post it on social media when we
Okay.
have a beer festival or a brew fest that gets a page going, or Instagram. But there's pretty much something happening every weekend. Starting mid-May, you've got the Mermaid Festival in Seward. You've got the
You guys will be down there.
yep.
You'll be down there pouring.
Yep, be down there pouring. We've got, there are a bunch in Southeast. In the fall, there's Alaska Day in Sitka. We'll be pouring there. There's a Haynes Brew Festival. There's the Capital City Brew Fest. There's Talkeetna Brew Fest, Kenai River Brew Fest,
Okay.
Downriver Brew Fest in Fairbanks. It's
So
just
all
on and
over.
on. If
Okay.
you look at any Chamber of Commerce website and ask what brew fests are coming up, you'll find us there, either pouring ourselves or through our partners in Pints,
Okay.
K&L Distributors.
Okay, so look at the commerce website, find the Brewfest, you'll be there, and you guys will update it on social media. That's
Yep.
how we can find you.
We put them out there when we're getting close. As hey, we just had one up at UAF in Fairbanks,
Okay.
and put that up there a couple weeks ago, saying, "Hey, Matanuska Brewing Company, come try our beer here." And
Like it.
we don't have them all at these brew fests because you can't. It's usually 4.
Okay.
But we'll pick and choose and see what the season dictates.
I like it. Okay, so now let's move into what I'm really passionate about, and that is really your job. So for the entrepreneurs or the local businesses, not necessarily just people in marketing and sales, but maybe there's a whole bunch of photographers out there. There's a whole bunch of just local small businesses that are trying to grow. And you're in a position with Matanuska Brewing Company where you guys started big and they hired you on to grow. So talk to us a little bit about that, about how you are fulfilling that growth. Is it just mainly through social media? What's working the best? What are you seeing in the market right now?
It comes down to a similar situation I have dealt with for dozens of years
Okay.
in my former career, and it's about relationships.
Okay.
Get out there, talk to the people, be present,
Mhm.
be available. People can get a hold of me, and get them the product. Talk about it, educate them, and always tell the truth.
Okay.
Just we don't make up anything here,
Mhm.
except delicious beer.
So really what they say, those basic principles of good business, of really good small business, but any good business, of doing the right thing and providing good service. Right?
And you have to have
how
a good
guys
product to begin with.
Okay.
If we could not be as successful as we are already, with triple our production that we've had just a few short months ago,
Mhm.
without having a good product, great people working for the company, great investors who are forward thinking in what they're willing to put out there, and a willing sales staff, me, to be home maybe 7 days in the month of April as I travel through the state gearing up for the summer and
Getting ready
tourist
for
season.
summer. Yeah.
Because I believe that we spread the love through Alaska 12 ounces at a time.
All the one-liners. I'm going to start writing them down. I'm going to tag them all in the video.
There you go.
Huh. So, let's go a little bit more minute than that. Like, there's those good principles, which you guys obviously have, but you specifically, what do you, is it phone call, you're hitting the phones and calling up all the restaurants and saying, I want to get my beer in your restaurant? Or are you doing social media to spread awareness more? Or what's kind of the main thing, your main driver of that growth?
Well, social media is big, and your sphere that you have from your life experiences, just promoting it wherever you go, believing in your company and always talking about it. But beyond that specifics, I do ride-alongs with our distributor.
Okay.
We get their salespeople who are out there selling all their products, and they'll allow me to tag along with them and bring samples. I'll go into a restaurant. I'll have 8 styles of beer. We'll pour them. We'll taste them. They'll give me an opinion. They'll bring in their service staff, their bartenders, their servers, and get their opinions. We can't do that in stores in the state of Alaska, but I can drop samples off there that they can try on their own time, and that's helped a lot too.
Okay.
Because if you don't know the product, it's just another new brewery.
Okay.
Until they taste it, they don't see that it is the new brewery.
So what it sounds like is you have a good sphere, a giant database of contacts that you leverage out, right? Like and leverage, it sounds like a bad word, it seems like, but you just promote it everywhere you go because you believe in the product, right?
Yep.
And then behind that, social media to build the brand and to get in front of people.
Yep.
And then once you're in front of people, the product sells itself. Like you said a few times, you let them try the beer, and every time it's back. They want it in the restaurant.
Exactly.
Okay.
And when I leave any place where I've done a tasting, I do leave them a description, a list. I call it the beer menu.
Okay.
And it's just a list of the beers, what they are, what their alcohol content is, what the bittering units might be, what the profile is.
Can you Vanna White that for me again? There it is.
All these beers are available at the tasting room, open 3 to 8 p.m. every day.
Huh.
And that's in a nutshell.
Okay. So, is there anything else about the business that you really want to talk about what you're specifically doing that you really want to talk about? Anything we didn't cover?
I think you did a good job of putting me on the spot on a few things.
Perfect.
And we believe in the community where our brewery is as well. We're active in the events, sponsoring things with Active Souls, with coordination with Palmer Ale House, and you can carry. We'd love to see our beer in the Palmer bars and restaurants because we believe in this community. I was raised here. This is where I got my PhD. Well, it's Palmer High Diploma.
Oh. I was about to
It's the only
say.
PhD I have.
Oh, there's some value behind that, I think.
Oh yeah,
Possibly.
and this community has always been dear to my heart, and it's wonderful to have. The facility itself is in the old Matanuska made milk.
That's this facility?
This is Matanuska made bottling facility. This is where they did it. I grew up drinking Mat made milk, and now I'm grown up drinking Matanuska beers. So it's full circle.
Right under the water tower.
Right under the water
that's
tower.
How you find them.
Yeah, if you just circle the block, you'll find the entrance. If you just look for the water tower.
Perfect.
And come try it out.
Huh. So before we cut off, how do we reach you? You said tasting rooms open 3 to 8. Social media, is it at Matanuska Brewing Company? What's your tag?
There, to be very, very clear, you'll see several Matanuska Brewing Company pages and accounts because there are 2, soon to be 3 restaurants that we're partnered up with in co-branding. You'll see Matanuska Brewing Company, Anchorage Brew Pub, Matanuska Brewing Company, Eagle River Brew Pub, and soon to open is the Downtown Brew Pub. And that is where the old woodshed used to be, across from the Hilton. So, but So we have those places, and they all have growler bars, so you can buy the beer in growlers there. You can buy 6-packs there, because we have a package sales license. So if you can't make it out to Palmer to the tasting room, you can try all those beers. They have all of them on tap there at any of those restaurants.
Okay. So what was the tagline that to get to Matanuska Brewing Company? Is there just one, or there's one for each ale house that you guys run off of?
There's only one brewery,
Uh-huh.
and that's in Palmer.
Okay.
And we supply all the beer for the Matanuska Brewing Company restaurants and
Right.
brew pubs.
So what's the social media tag to get just to the brewery? Is it Matanuska Brewing LLC?
They'll say Matanuska Brewing Company LLC is the brewery, Matanuska Brewing Company Anchorage, Matanuska Brewing Company probably
Got it.
downtown. That
Okay,
one's not
got it,
created
got it.
yet.
That makes sense.
And you'll see the difference in the logos. The brewery will have, the classic white and red background there, and the ale or the brew pubs have a black background, very distinctly similar but different, so you can tell them apart.
Perfect. All right, and then website. You guys have a website?
Yep, MatanuskaBrewingCompany.com.
Perfect. That one's easy.
Yep.
Huh. All right. Well, anything else you want to touch on before we let the guys go?
Yep. Come on down, try the beer. If you haven't tried it, don't be missing out. We're making new ones all the time, and some of the one-offs and special batches will be coming through more and more, so you can try some new stuff too. Growler bars throughout the valley, throughout Anchorage, you can find our beer there. And wherever you eat, wherever you drink, wherever you buy beer, ask for Matanuska.
There's another one-liner. All the one-liners. Huh. So, and then, as you saw, we have all the swag here behind us. That's in the tasting room to get the swag. And we didn't even talk about it. I'll put it in the next video or in the little commercial that I do. They have a beer vending machine here in the tasting room. Definitely come check that out.
It's you have to be 21 or older to use it, and $2 pops you out a beer through an old soda pop machine, and it's for consumption off premise, because you can't just pop it and crack it. You need to buy it from the bartender. But it's kind of fun to put your money in there and push a button and have it pop down the bottom and go, where was this when I was in high school?
Yeah, right.
I didn't
when
mean
I
that
was
out of high school. College.
That's right. When you were getting your PhD.
That's it.
Right? And then keep an eye out. We're going to run some promotions and a lot more content off of this video. And all of it will be tagged on their page, so you can find it on either one.
And in a week or so, just over a week, there's that event in Palmer, Who Let the Girls Out?
Okay.
And we're on the route for that. So
Perfect.
make sure you come down and get your stamp and vote for your favorite beer.
Drink one while you're here.
Yep, come down and try a flight.
Perfect. Thanks, Clark.
All right, thank you.
All right. Now we got to figure out how to shut this off, so it's always the most awkward, 15 seconds after. What am I doing?